My girlfriend, that through thick and thin. My girlfriend.
Hey, girlfriends, and welcome to Girlfriends Unscripted. Have you ever felt like people only called you when they needed something? You were the dependable one, the fixer, the one who figured everything out for them. But one day you realized they did not appreciate you, they needed you. People only appreciate what you did more than they valued who you are as a person. And today we're going to talk about the difference in feeling and being valued and learning to stop overextending ourselves and choosing relationships where the love is mutual and not one-sided. Let's get into it. We made it through. Let's first welcome our guest for the second time on season 2. Courtney.
Hi, guys.
Yes, the best trainer there is. Hit her up, y'all.
Clock that.
All right, so let's talk about being. What's the difference between being useful and being appreciated? I think that sometimes people will keep you around because you have something that they need. Um, if they need some specific thing, they're gonna call on you, and you only hear from them when they need this specific thing. And I think sometimes we don't notice it because if you're a giver, you don't notice that people are only calling on you when they need something. And I think the difference is, can I call on you when I don't have anything that you need for you to be there for me? Yeah, I sometimes feel like they like being a giver is like a gift, but then also it's like a curse at the same time because it does become like who you are. You want to give, and make sure like everybody's okay, and do everything. But does it really matter to them when you're not? I think that I can relate to this because part of my identity had become to be the person that people could depend on to be. And to me, I'm thinking it's just my character to always be there for people. But then it became something that I did even at the expense of me. Yeah. And so I had to realize, and I didn't realize until I went through some things in my life and saw that when I needed somebody to be the giver, there were no givers around, only takers. And takers are going to take. So I felt like in that season, I learned that it's okay to be a giver to the people who are givers to you. And you can love everybody, but everybody doesn't deserve, you to continue and give freely to them. I do feel like I can give without needing a giver back. You know what I'm saying? But I don't want that to be totally what I do, just what I do for the people. Like, you need to be able to figure it out yourself too. I don't want you to always be feeling like you need to come to me and then I have to figure it out. I want you to be a little bit dependable, but I do like. I don't want to be like, oh, you have to, give because I'm giving. No, yeah. Absolutely not. Like when I do for people, it's because I'm doing for people. Yeah. But we get caught up because we're giving, and you never take the time to realize everybody's taking. So I don't want nothing back. If I give it to you, I gave it to you. I gave it freely. And most of the times, if I do something or if I give something, that came from God anyway. Yeah. So it's not really coming from me. Yeah. But if all you do is take and take that's not a healthy relationship. There has to be a boundary set because people will take what you give. Yeah.
And for me, I think this: if you are a giver, you are vulnerable for people to come in your life and take from you. And it's like, are you hanging out with me because I'm giving you something, or emotionally support, staying on the phone for hours, and then you'll have a conversation and realize that person's not listening to you. They won't remember anything you're saying, and then be like, ask you the same question. You're like, I've been telling you for 45 minutes. Are you here, girl? And then you fall into the trap. You're like, are you friends with me because I'm giving you something? Or do you value me when I don't have those things to give, whether it's emotional support? Are you really valued?
Just
are you appreciated? Or is it an expectation they expect from you rather than appreciation?
Yeah, because I can say, like, when I was the person that threw the parties and the person that had all the events, it was a lot of people around me. I had so many people that valued me, right? So I thought, when I stopped doing that, do these same people value me? I haven't probably seen those people. Yeah. And that's how you know, like, Was it because I was the person that everybody could come and have a good time, or was it something truly a relationship?
True, true.
And it can happen in regular relationships, friendships, or just daily life. Like if it's like setting an expectation, they're assuming that you're going to take on the responsibility. It's like you guys go out to eat and you pay the bill all the time, and maybe one time you'll hold back and you're like, I'm not going to pay the bill, and then all of a sudden they have an attitude and they don't want to go out with you because you're not footing the bill anymore. It's not to hang out with you; it's to receive something.
Yeah, and sometimes people love your help more than they love your heart.
Yeah.
So they're not really there because they have a heart for you. They're when I was younger, I used to get all my friends in the club free. We going. I used to buy the bottle. I don't care. Like we going outside. When it came time to, I couldn't get everybody in. Well, then it got very scarce. It got a little bit dispersed. Like people not not around. And so when it came down to celebrating my highs, who's around? Who's there? When it came to celebrate being there in my lows, who's around? Who's there? Because people like when you say yes.
Yeah.
But when you say no, it's like
they don't know what to do.
They don't know what to do.
Yes, their entire relationship.
Well,
Beyonce said,
the first time I said no, you act like I never said yes.
They're mad at you and they're upset because you didn't give over what they wanted and what they needed.
Yeah. And I think that part of me, it was, I don't know, like I was offended somebody said that I want people to need me. I truly don't want people to need me, but I like to be in a space where I can help the people that I love.
Yeah, for me too. I feel like I don't like for people to feel how I feel when I'm like in situations where I need somebody and don't have it.
And don't have somebody.
Yeah, so I try to be that person for people like, oh, you ain't gotta feel that way. Like I'm right here. What you need? What you got? Yeah. Because I mean, like as a friend, as a family member, as whatever, I feel like that's what people need. Because at times I need it and without asking, like I don't want to have to be like, hey, could you, I just want you to be like, oh, I see you down and out. What's up?
What
and that's how I want to be for people around me. Like, okay, like what you need from me, just because you're supposed to treat people how you want to be treated, and that's just what I. But
I feel like for me, I've always been the person like, what you need, 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 and it's always what you need, what you need, what you need. But then if I'm down or if I'm in a space where I actually need a friend or actually need somebody to talk to or I'm actually going through something, it's like who really is there for me to call on? You know what I'm saying? And there's a small selected few. There's a small selected few.
Circle not small.
Circle is really small, but I think those things are required to figure out, do these people care about me? Do these people actually genuinely have a heart for me?
Yeah.
And we don't never take the time as givers. You don't take the time to think, are they just takers? And takers will find the givers.
I feel like too, when it comes to Kendra, that she carries herself so, like
she's strong.
I'm good.
She's strong. She's very strong.
So to be somebody who's not like as close to her to just be like, oh, are you okay? Like you can't. They won't be able to tell. Like, okay, maybe she needs something because she's still going.
Yeah.
She's still trigger like me.
Like she's the strong one. She's like, don't mind me. I'm gonna keep
me
on going.
On the other hand, when I'm in a frenzy, you could tell because I'm in a ball somewhere talking about what you say. Like
Kendra's like, it's game time. We gonna get it done.
Yeah. So I think when it comes to like probably a lot of people that have been around her, they probably don't even sometimes look at her like, hey, something probably going on with her because she's probably in Bali somewhere. So
you know what? You want to know something? When the house burned down, I saturated myself in traveling. So traveling is something I like to do.
Yeah.
So when the house burned down, I was just gone. I was literally outside. Not being a mother. Like I was definitely being a mother, taking care of my kids. Yeah. But two things can be true at one time, right? So I was literally like gone on vacation, out like. I'm outside. I was going here and there and everywhere. And it wasn't until we went to Hawaii and I sat with myself and I started to look around and I was just like, I'm not healing.
Yeah.
I have not healed. I'm not processing. And really, in those low moments, when you think that these people will all be there, because I've been there for them.
Yeah.
She was the only one that literally knew how low I was and met me there. You know what I'm saying? And that's a place of knowing the people who are you around, the knowing the people that you call your circle. You should know.
A lot of people don't have that empathy though. They can't feel it like that. Like some people could just feel it. Like
you just know when something's off. When
like something was going on, and I don't know how I ended up telling Kendra, but in my mind I was like, I'm not telling her this, and then I was like, I don't. Well, something happened. We was driving in the car, and it just was like, oh, I missed it.
I threw it out nonchalant.
Yeah, and then I was like, I was not even supposed to say that because I didn't I knew that would bother her or hurt her, and then I was like, okay, yeah, I'm not gonna say that, but I don't know.
And she did say it, and I think in that moment I was hurt. My heart was extremely hurt when she told me, and I don't think in that moment. I think for her it was like something that girl, that's crazy. Yeah. So we were driving. I'm en route to drop her off. And she like, anyways, F them anyways. And we don't need them anyway.
We don't need them anyway.
And you need that friend who's going to be like, girl, we don't need them. But after I backed out of her house, and I don't cry often, but after I backed out of her driveway, I was just crying, just tears, and I'm like, I can't call her because we're supposed to be tough about this. We're not supposed to care about this. So as I'm driving, I'm like, okay, who could I really call that would understand the magnitude of this situation? Yeah. So I called my best friend. I called Tony, and she was out. And she like, what's wrong? And I was like, nothing. She's like, no, something's wrong. And I'm like, no, you all having a good time. Nothing's wrong. I'm good. I'm okay. And so then I'm crying more because she wasn't available. So then I'm like, okay. So then I called my little sister, and then she like, what's going on? I'm like, what you doing? She like, oh, I'm out with whoop whoop whoop. I said nothing's going on. And so then I'm just crying.
At that point, just crying.
At this point, I'm full on crying. I'm just driving home, just crying. And then I made it to the driveway, and I dried my eyes because now I got to go in the house, and I got to be big dog in here. You feel me? So I dried my eyes, and I came in, and I'm thinking everybody going to be in their respective areas.
And she knew.
And no, she hadn't called me yet. But TT, my niece, was walking back, happened to be walking past the stairs. And she said, hey, auntie. And I was like, hi. And she said, what's wrong with you? And I said, nothing. And she said, are you okay? And I said, yeah. And I'm walking up the stairs all fast. And then I sat on a chair in my room. And here comes TT, tiptoeing in there. Something just didn't feel right. Then I just start crying even more. But it's just like, if you know a person, if you know that their character,
you know how they function.
You're not gonna let well enough be. You're gonna be like, hold on, something ain't right with them, and I'm finna figure it out. Like something is going on, and those are the people that actually care about your heart, not about what you can do for them. It's about, you know what, that didn't sit right with me.
That person that checks on you, just like, hey, I'm just checking on you.
I'm just checking on you.
You know, just want to see how you're doing. Not, they'll call you and this is the trick. They go, hey, how you doing? I'm good. I'm good. Oh, girl, let me tell you about this. Let me tell you this happened, that. And then next thing you know, you're like, was I tricked? What's going on?
I get tricked into this conversation.
I didn't even say I'm good yet. I said I'm, and that was over.
I got tricked into this therapy session.
I went right into the therapy session. 3 hours later, I'm like, dang, what happened?
So let me ask you this. Have you ever felt like, have you ever realized someone loved what you did for them more than they loved who you are as a person?
Actually, I did. In the past, I had habits of having friends that are around me because I'm a natural giver. I love to from the heart. I don't have an expectation of people. I just give because I love them. And then it got to a point where one time this friend was supposed to show up at the gym to meet another lady for me because she wanted to work on some exercises. And if you know me, I take fitness serious.
Very serious.
So I was at the doctor. I said, I'm running late. I had an ear infection. I got swimmer's ear for my headphones. So I'm running late. And she's like, oh, girl, I call her. I'm there at the gym. I'm like, where are you guys? She's like, oh, I didn't leave. I was talking to my mom. I said,
so she never went?
She never went when I asked her. But I was like, okay. And she's like, oh, I'm going to be there. Showed up like 40 minutes later. I went to talk to the lady. I was like apologizing. I felt bad. Because I was like, because she had offered. And before I even jumped into the conversation, we were talking to her. And she was like, come show me some exercise. She goes, me and her will. So then I started talking to this lady, offering myself, let me help you. And then I look really bad not showing up on the person. I'm a person of my word. That drives me crazy. If you know me, I'm going to show up. And she didn't see anything wrong with it. She was just like, oh, well.
Because it was like, you need me,
but if she called me for her hair or makeup, training, crying, going out to eat. What didn't matter?
Yeah.
I was there for her, and I genuinely cared for her. But that kind of hurt my feelings. I didn't say anything to her because it would just be the maturity wasn't there for that conversation.
Yeah.
But I kind of learned. I was like, okay, she doesn't prioritize our friendship like that.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna take it personal, but I understand where my position was. You know?
Yeah, and I think like being the person that everybody calls to vent. Everybody, you can carry their load. Sometimes you take that one chance and then they don't show up and then you feel like, never mind, I'm not going to ask them.
Yeah, never mind, I'm not going to ask you because, and it wasn't like, oh, I'm sorry or anything. She was like, I was busy doing that. I go, but you said you were going to do it.
You volunteered.
And you volunteered me. So I'm trying to follow through on what you had volunteered, and then you acted like, girl, not a big deal. And I was like, well, that wasn't very nice to leave someone standing there.
Yeah.
And that's very frustrating. And I think, like, sometimes friends like that, they feel like you got it, you good, you gonna take care of it, you got it. So then they feel like they don't have to really carry as much because you the one that always get it done. You the one that always show up.
They always know. They know they can call me at 1 a.m. You got a flat tire, I'm there. But let me try to call. The scope is limited. Yeah. I know that there's a few people that answer the phone.
And that's actually very exhausting to be just call me.
But I was like that for a very long time. I had to learn what boundaries were and not feel guilty for them.
Yeah.
And learn how to say no. Because even with family, friends, I would, I'm there. And next thing you know, I have 40 things to do.
Yeah.
And I can't even get to my own stuff. And I'm stressing out trying to meet deadlines and other things because I offered my services 28 other times because I didn't know how to say no.
And I used to be like that. Like, I literally had just got home from taking my daughter to college. There was a birthday party that someone was having, and then there was another little thing that somebody else was doing. And normally, like, in my life, I would figure out, actually, no, I would figure out how to do 1,000 things in one day. That day, I said, I'm tired. I can't go. And usually I would feel bad. I didn't feel bad because as my friend, if you know that I'm a person that always shows up, on the one time that I can't show up, give me grace.
Yeah, and that's okay because we all have those days where we feel bad or don't feel good or just burnt out. And also being a mom and trying to balance 9,000 other things, you know. But if you have a friend that doesn't happen to have the same understanding, that's where the problems live because they feel like you're not pouring into them, and then they're expected of that behavior because you set a kind of a standard for yourself.
You say,
And now all of a sudden they're like, wait a minute, you can't do what you asked me to? Like, why'd you tell me no? Oh, it's probably because she just doesn't want to hang out or she didn't want to do it. It's not that I have to be to 3 different schools and I already have this and I have that and I have to work and there's no understanding there. But if they tell you no, it was like water. Oh no, girl, I can't do it.
I can't do it.
Like, I don't want to go outside. It's not even a good reason.
For me, I wouldn't even. The problem with me is I don't like to ask people to do things.
Yeah.
So like just to be, cause like I don't want to call somebody at 3 o'clock in the morning. You gotta be. Ran out of my toes with AAA, exhausted every other option before I call somebody and be like, hey,
I'm the type. I'm gonna show up. I might look crazy. I might have leggings on and a bun going sideways, but I'm there.
Yeah,
you
like
know?
girl, I called everything and every other person I was supposed. This is their job. I couldn't figure it out. So now here I am calling.
That's part of being a giver. You're literally gonna handle it yourself before you put it on somebody else.
Because
you feel like I don't want to be a burden on somebody else.
But everybody be a burden on you.
But everybody
will be a burden on you.
And not care.
Yeah. No shame and no nothing.
So how do you know when emotional support has become emotional exhaustion?
I feel like when you're tired. For me, I think it was because I'm always in my house. I'm the figure outer. I'm the
solution.
Yeah.
The figure.
What should we do?
Yeah.
Where should we go?
Yeah.
Like I'll be like. So now I just be like I shrug my shoulders so bad now like don't know. I love to be like y'all know I'm a Libra. I can't make no decision. Like that's my favorite line in my house right now because I'm tired of being the go-to. Like I feel like a lot of people in my house now have seen that she's not answering these questions for us no more. So what should we do?
It's teaching them solution. They're learning.
Yes, because I cannot do that. It made me very tired. It put my back against the wall in certain situations to where I couldn't figure it out. It put so much on me to where I was in a place where I felt dark and I felt tired. I felt exhausted. I had no answers. I had nothing for myself. I couldn't feel good for myself. I couldn't even answer the questions I had for myself. Like, what should I do? I don't even know.
Cup was so empty, just nothing in there.
Nothing in there to the point where I'm not doing that anymore. I'm not answering all y'all questions. I can't figure it out. I don't know. I think so. That's what
what you asked me.
That's the moral of the story. But
I went through the savior complex too, at my own expense, whether it was financially, mentally, physically. Whether you needed something, I went through a thing where I bled myself dry, where I was working multiple jobs, paying people's bills and stuff, and then knowing that I'm gonna figure out where I'm gonna get the money, or I'll just take from myself and just give more to other people. And it got to the point where I put myself in some bad situations to save people. For the people to go do the same thing that got them in the situation in the first place. And they didn't, and I was like, okay, they don't wanna take any advice, I'm gonna sit here and listen. But then they would tell me, you can't tell me nothing. I'm saying, you living with me, I've been paying your bills, doing all this stuff, and you're just out here acting like a teenager, like you ain't got no responsibility. And it got to a point where I had to, the hardest thing for me was to go, I gotta step away from this.
Yeah, because sometimes when we do that much for people, it does, what is it like?
Enables them.
It enables their growth.
Yeah.
And we don't let them go through the trials and the errors that they need to develop. And it's almost like you're just as guilty because you're enabling that progress.
You're enabling them.
We can't always be Captain Saver.
Well, we can't.
Yeah.
And I was like, when I had dealt with all that stuff, I had to learn, the way I had to learn is that's why I was able to fend for myself and not depend on people, because I did go through a lot of bumps and bruises on my own. I had to figure it out. But I knew what it was like. I felt like I was abandoning people, and I didn't want them to suffer the way I suffered.
Yeah,
I felt a sense of guilt because I'm like, they're at a really low place. If I'm in a good position,
you kind of feel like,
let me help somebody.
Let me help them. And that's literally like how I always be feeling, like I want to help them. I want to be there for these people.
Yeah.
I don't want them to feel like they don't have nobody. But at the end of the day, people will run over you. People will take advantage of you.
I learned that the hard way, because sometimes your heart gets in the way. Empathy for people, and just going there crying, it's like, I don't want them to cry. Like, how can I help you?
Like, I've felt that pain before, and I don't want anybody to feel
whether
that.
it's a broken heart or I can't pay my bills.
Whatever
I have been there. You don't have
Yeah.
groceries. I'm like, let me help you out. If I'm in a good, even if I'm not in a good position, I will pull for myself and give to somebody else because, they just need to know what
I had a friend who literally didn't have food at a time, and I would be like, I ain't got that kind of money, but I got food in my refrigerator, so
I'm run it, right?
Yeah, I'm giving you a bag of groceries. Like, take a bag, here you go, get
what
you
can I
need.
do to help you?
And then I was in a situation, and then I was like, not that I didn't have food, I was just in a situation, I was looking like, dang, this girl don't even call to be like, hey, and then I started being like, I can't have my friendships. So that's when I realized, like, oh yeah, I'm gonna just cut you off, because I don't want to be looking at you when you're in a time of need, and I'll be like, oh, I'm not doing that because you didn't do that.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
and because you're not even that kind of person. No. Like, that's not even your heart. So then it kind of like, I'd rather not even be. Literally, like, I'd rather not be around you, because do people only call you when they need something, or do they call you to check on you? Or what is this? And that's the thing. Like, if you don't want to be around somebody, it's because I don't like that I'm only called when you need me.
Yeah.
And rather than be fake or be up in your face, and then I'm not going to say, no, I can't be there for you, or no, I can't help you. That's not in me. So I'm not going to do that. So if I distance myself from you, then I don't feel like obligated to do that for you.
Yeah, and it's a quiet distance. It's not that we're not friends.
No,
we're
not
any of those things.
Anything.
But I'm not going to let you take advantage of me because I am wholeheartedly. I value friendships. I care about people. Like, I'm not going to allow that. That's still a boundary. That doesn't make me a bad person by saying, no, you're not going to do that. You're not, you know what I mean? Because you can run across disingenuine people that can really put you in a, you don't want to put yourself in a resentful anger. I'm forgiving, so I'm going to let it go and move on. But if you keep repetitively going through that circle, then being manipulative, it's going to set it up for a bigger problem.
And I think it's important for us to stop and reflect and ask yourself, like, if I stopped doing everything that I was doing for
would they still be there?
Would this relationship still exist? Would they still be around? Would they still
No, because they're going to actually go find another person to be.
They're going to move on to another person. Yeah. So it's clear, though. There are some signs that I think we miss, like when we have an event. That one friend that's, you're always cheering on, and then crickets, they don't show up. Whether you start a business, whether there are people like that you're cheering for them, and then once they get in a position, they act like they don't know you. Like, they're like, oh, no, don't worry about it. And you're like, dang, you didn't do none of my endeavors, and then you make it, and they're like, girl, I always knew you were gonna make it. Could have fooled me, because you ain't never went to nothing I did. You ain't never liked nothing on Instagram. You ain't never reposted nothing. But girl, as soon as you make it, then you're back. Girl, I always knew. I was telling everybody. You weren't telling nobody.
You wasn't telling nobody.
You were lurking in the shadows, just doing the business.
Yeah. That's how people really are, and it's really sad. It's really the world is a cesspool. Not just the name.
You know, I think there's good people. I think that there's people that are good. I think that, but it's human nature.
It is.
A taker is gonna take, and it's nothing. It's in them. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're givers because that's in us.
Yeah.
Takers, that's in them.
That's in them. That's what they're gonna do.
And they've never been made to be a giver. And so they just take.
I think too, a lot of people who are in that, I think they I feel like they came from trying to survive.
They're still in survival mode.
Yeah.
But you can, because it depends, because a lot of people are raised, even if you have less money, like, you can either become a giver or a taker. It just depends on the personality of the person. If that's how they, usually with the taking personality, it starts as, oh, cool, and then it's expected, and then people are like, wait a minute, I like what I'm getting from you. What do you mean, though? What do you mean you can't throw the party at your house and pay for everything?
Yeah.
I have a good time at your house. All the friends go. Girl, my wallet is fine, and you over here looking like, dang, I just spent $1,000. What did I spend $1,000 on?
What's really going
on? Like, you know what I mean? But they get something out of it, and they enjoy. Not saying they don't like you as a person, but they also like the benefits of being your friend.
They like the benefits of being in your circle. They like the benefits of being around.
And that's why you gotta ask yourself: would they still hang out with me if I had nothing? Would you still call me? Would you still do things with me if I couldn't afford these things? Would you cover me?
Yeah.
Because there's been times where I put gas in people's tank and done this, but if I were to ask them, they'd be like, okay, borrow it, and then you gonna pay me back.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like crazy. It's crazy.
It's crazy, but I don't care. I'm always the person like, look, if I owe you, girl, I'm paying you.
Yeah. I don't really care about, if I give, I'm giving. Yeah. I don't want it back. But you ain't finna use me.
For me, I don't literally, if I don't have it to not have to ask for it back, I can't give it. So that's how I be like,
I just give it with no expectation of getting it back. I don't care.
Yeah.
Me, if I get, here's the thing. If you say, can I borrow this? I'm going to hold you accountable to borrow it. If I have it to borrow, if I have it to let you borrow, and if you don't pay it back, it ain't going to make me or break me, I will let you borrow it. But then after you borrow, if you don't give back, well, then your borrowing streak is gone. That's on you. But I'm not mad at you for not giving it back. You just can't borrow anymore.
Again. Yeah.
But I'm going to let you borrow, and no expectations of it getting back. But if it does come back, you can borrow again. I trust you.
It's one of those things, though. If you borrow from somebody and there's an expectation, you know you're supposed to pay them back. Pay them back.
Yeah.
Do the right thing.
But if you don't, I ain't mad because I already didn't count that in my bills or didn't count that in my thing.
I never count
that. What I'm saying?
But it's like, because they might give you that money back, you might send it right back, girl, don't worry about it. But it's the principle and the respecting the other person and not just saying, I'm going to take this and not be good to my word.
Yeah, like it's your word. What did your word say? And I think also, like, in these type of relationships or, like, friendships or everything, it's important to not be the person always overextending yourself. And I literally
the reciprocation.
Talking about somebody didn't see nothing. I literally found out that if there's no reciprocation, you can't keep doing it. No. You can't. And it sounds crazy that you got to learn that, but it's just something like you keep going and doing and going and doing and running. You're running like a chicken with your head cut off.
Yeah.
And
I think sometimes it takes for you to stop and then to know if they're going to. Because, like, if you're continuing doing it, then they're not. So I feel like now that I have put two things in my household that everybody's kind of
for real, straight
panicking.
Up, I told my kids, I said, you act like I got to do all of this extra stuff. And I don't. So now I'm going to show you what it's like to not get the extra stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, I sure would like some Chick-fil-A. You got Chick-fil-A money? And I don't even like being that parent. I like being the parent that, we want this, let's go get it. You got a taste for that, let's go get it. But when you start to acting like I owe you this, oh, baby, we got to pull the brakes. We got to pull the brakes out. We got to stop. Ski. You know what I'm saying? And I think as we go deeper, it's important to know, like, are people pouring into you? Are those people in your circle pouring into you, or are they just taking from you? And then once you reflect on that, then you kind of know how your circle should develop.
You can kind of tell too. The energy will shift with the person. Not just like they'll kind of pull away. So if you're not giving what you normally give, their mood will shift with you, or there'll be certain things that are shorter with you, or the text is a little different. And it's just a different vibe that they're sending you.
Texting, not even just, I'm not saying relationships, but friendships too. They don't really texting the next person that's gonna be you.
Yeah.
Get ready.
It's like a bad relationship. They done replaced you, and they putting you in a holding. I'm a texter when I feel like it, even though they've seen that text message.
They're gonna get back to you because they gotta entertain that next person.
Well, it's the supply. Well, if you're talking about emotional, it's supply. There are some people that look for emotional supply from people to pull from them, and as soon as you're like, oh, I need to take a break from this, I'm too emotionally invested, or whatever it be, or there's no solution, we're still dealing with the problem 5 years later, they still with the same person, or doing the crazy stuff at the job, or behaving a certain way, you'll notice that they have already got somebody else that they're putting in your position. And if you watch friend turnover, that's a real thing. If you get involved with somebody that they're real nice, but they seem to shift friends real quickly, you can kind of tell that they're extracting something.
They're getting something from
friends since I was 5.
Yeah, I
think that everyone goes through seasons of needing a person that's there for them. Like,
of course.
And everybody goes through a season where they can't pour into the person, but it should be a reciprocity thing.
It
where
should be
you pour into me, I pour into you. Maybe this season, all season, you couldn't pour into me, but this season I poured into you. But it's gonna come a season where now you pouring into me, and we're helping each other out, and we have a care for each other. You know, like that's the most important thing about it.
A healthy relationship. You go, it's give and take, and then when you're not 100%, having a friend saying, "Girl, I got you," or "Don't worry about it, I'll cover this," and it's knowing that they really care for you the same way, and that you're valued in the same way. You know, rather than just saying, "Well, I'm done with you. I got what I wanted. I'm moving on to somebody else."
Yeah, and as we close this episode, I want to leave you with, not everyone deserves unlimited access. There are some people that do deserve unlimited access because they give you unlimited access to them, but not everybody deserves unlimited access. And a healthy relationship is mutual. It's not one person give while the other person sits back and takes. And those boundaries that you create will reveal if it's a relationship that values you or a relationship that benefits from you. You have anything else to say?
Nope.
All right. Until next time, girlfriends.
Peace out.
Peace.
For anything, we keep it real, we keep it true.